As you settle into this quiet moment, breathing softly in the darkness, take a moment to notice something extraordinary that you carry with you always, yet rarely pause to contemplate. You are conscious. You are aware. Right now, there is someone home inside your experience, a witnessing presence that is reading these words, feeling the weight of your body, aware of being aware itself. This inner light of consciousness that illuminates your experience is perhaps the most profound mystery in all of existence. Unlike every other phenomenon that science studies, from the motion of planets to the behavior of atoms, consciousness cannot be observed from the outside. It can only be known from within, in the private theater of your own inner experience, where thoughts arise, emotions flow, and the rich tapestry of being you unfolds moment by moment. Tonight, as you rest here, you are carrying within your skull the most complex structure in the known universe, a human brain containing 100 billion neurons, each connected to thousands of others in a network so intricate it defies complete description. Yet somehow, from this 3-pound mass of biological tissue, arises something that seems to belong to an entirely different category of existence. Your subjective experience, your sense of being someone who exists from the inside. This is what philosophers call the hard problem of consciousness. Not just explaining what the brain does, but explaining why there is anything it feels like to be you. We can map every neuron, trace every electrical signal, identify the brain regions that activate during different mental tasks. Yet the most fundamental question remains beautifully, mysteriously unanswered. How does objective brain activity give rise to subjective inner experience? Feel now the miracle of your own awareness. You are not just processing information like a sophisticated computer. You are experiencing what it feels like to process that information. You don't just detect light wavelengths. You experience the redness of red, the blueness of blue. You don't just respond to stimuli. You feel the pleasure of warmth, the satisfaction of a deep breath, the peace of lying comfortably in the dark. Your consciousness transforms the mechanical processes of neural computation into the felt experience of being alive, of being someone with preferences and memories, hopes and dreams. A unique perspective on the universe that has never existed before and will never exist again. You are not just a biological machine. You are that machine experiencing what it feels like to be itself. This inner dimension of your existence operates according to principles that seem to transcend the purely physical. Your thoughts have meaning that goes beyond the electrical patterns that correlate with them. Your emotions carry qualitative feelings that are more than just neurotransmitter release. Your sense of self persists through constant physical change, creating a continuity of identity that somehow emerges from a brain that replaces most of its atoms regularly. As we journey through the mystery of consciousness tonight, you'll discover that awareness is not just something your brain produces. It may be the most fundamental feature of reality itself, the means by which the universe comes to know its own existence. Your consciousness is not an accident of complex chemistry, but perhaps the very purpose for which matter organized itself into the intricate patterns of life and intelligence. Rest now, in appreciation of your most intimate possession, this inner light of awareness that makes all experience possible, this miraculous capacity to be someone who knows what it feels like to exist, to wonder, to contemplate the very mystery of consciousness itself. You are about to explore the greatest puzzle in science, the deepest question in philosophy, the most personal mystery of all: what it means to be aware, to be conscious, to be beautifully, mysteriously you. The neural theater, how the brain creates experience. Imagine now the extraordinary biological theater housed within your skull, where 100 billion neurons perform the most magnificent symphony ever composed, the ongoing creation of your conscious experience. As you rest here quietly, this neural orchestra is playing the music of your mind with a complexity that surpasses anything humans have ever built or imagined. Each neuron in your brain is like a tiny biological computer, receiving signals from thousands of its neighbors, processing that information, and deciding whether to fire its own signal forward through the network. When a neuron fires, it releases chemical messengers called neurotransmitters across microscopic gaps called synapses, creating cascading waves of electrical activity that flow through your neural networks like lightning through storm clouds. Your visual cortex, located at the back of your brain, is right now reconstructing the world from the patterns of light that entered your eyes before you closed them. Your auditory cortex continues processing the subtle sounds around you, perhaps the hum of air conditioning, distant traffic, the rhythm of your own breathing. Your somatosensory cortex maintains your awareness of physical sensation, the feeling of your body resting peacefully in this moment. But here lies the deepest mystery. How do these separate neural processes, occurring in different regions of your brain, come together to create your unified conscious experience? This is called the binding problem. How the brain binds together disparate neural activities into the seamless, integrated awareness you experience as being you. Neuroscientists have discovered that consciousness seems to arise when different brain regions synchronize their electrical oscillations, creating what researchers call neural integration. When you see a red ball, neurons in your visual cortex that detect red must coordinate with neurons that detect round and neurons that process motion to create your unified experience of seeing a red ball in motion. Your prefrontal cortex, the most recently evolved part of your brain, acts like a conductor, orchestrating this neural symphony. It coordinates information from sensory areas, memory systems, and emotional centers, weaving them together into the coherent narrative of your ongoing experience. This region is particularly active during what neuroscientists call global access, those moments when unconscious processing suddenly becomes conscious awareness. Deep within your brain, the thalamus acts like a central relay station, routing information between different brain regions and helping to regulate the flow of consciousness itself. When you're awake and alert, thalamic neurons fire in patterns that support conscious awareness. During deep sleep, these same neurons shift into different rhythms that correlate with the absence of conscious experience. Your brain's default mode network, a collection of regions that remain active even during rest, may be creating your sense of having a continuous self that persists through time. This network, which includes parts of your medial prefrontal cortex and posterior cingulate cortex, seems to construct the ongoing narrative of being you, the feeling that there is someone consistent, experiencing all these changing mental contents. The neurotransmitters flowing through your brain, dopamine, serotonin, acetylcholine, GABA don't just influence your mood and behavior. They may be directly involved in creating the qualitative feel of conscious experience itself. The particular cocktail of brain chemistry that defines your individual neurobiology contributes to what makes your consciousness uniquely yours. Yet for all our growing knowledge of neural correlates of consciousness, the deepest question remains beautifully unanswered. Why should any of this neural activity feel like anything at all? Why doesn't the brain simply process information unconsciously, like a sophisticated biological computer, without generating the inner world of subjective experience? Some neuroscientists propose that consciousness emerges when neural information processing reaches a certain threshold of complexity and integration. Others suggest that consciousness might be fundamental to neurons themselves, present whenever neural networks reach sufficient organization and activity. As you drift towards sleep, your brain will demonstrate its remarkable capacity to shift between different states of consciousness. The neural networks that create your waking awareness will gradually transition into the different patterns that generate dreams, deep sleep, and the mysterious unconscious processing that continues throughout the night. Rest now in wonder at your neural theater, this biological symphony that somehow transforms the objective firing of neurons into the subjective miracle of inner experience, creating the ongoing movie of consciousness in which you are simultaneously the audience, the actor, and the very screen upon which the experience of being you unfolds. The stream of awareness, the flow and structure of consciousness. Feel now the gentle flow of your consciousness, what the great psychologist William James called the stream of consciousness. That continuous river of awareness that flows through every moment of your waking life, carrying thoughts and sensations, memories and expectations in its ever-changing current. Your consciousness never stops moving, never remains precisely the same from one moment to the next, yet somehow maintains a sense of continuity that creates your ongoing experience of being a coherent self, moving through time. Right now, as you rest here, you can observe this stream directly. Notice how your attention flows from these words to the sensation of breathing, perhaps to a sound in the distance, then back to your inner thoughts, in a constant dance of awareness. This stream of consciousness has a unique structure that distinguishes it from all other natural phenomena. Unlike the flow of a river, which moves in one direction through space, your consciousness flows through time while somehow remaining present in each moment. It carries the past with it in the form of memory, reaches toward the future through anticipation and planning, yet always exists in the eternal now of immediate experience. Your attention acts like a spotlight within this stream, illuminating some contents of consciousness, while leaving others in the background. Right now, you can direct this spotlight, focus it on your breathing, shift it to the feeling of your body against the bed, move it to any sounds in your environment. This ability to consciously direct attention may be one of the most remarkable features of human consciousness. But consciousness is more than just attention. Beneath the spotlight of focal awareness flows a vast river of background consciousness. All the sensations, memories, and thoughts that are present, but not directly attended to. You're dimly aware of your heartbeat, your body temperature, the position of your limbs, countless subtle sensations and thoughts that form the background texture of your ongoing experience. Your stream of consciousness demonstrates what philosophers call the unity of consciousness. Despite being composed of countless different elements, Your experience feels integrated and whole. You don't experience separate streams for vision, hearing, touch, and thought. You experience one unified awareness, in which all these elements are woven together into the seamless fabric of being you. Memory plays a crucial role in creating the continuity of your conscious stream. Each moment of experience is informed by everything you've experienced before, creating the sense that you are the same person who went to sleep last night, who lived yesterday's experiences, who carries a lifetime of accumulated knowledge and memory. Without memory, consciousness would be a series of disconnected moments with no sense of personal continuity. Your consciousness also demonstrates remarkable temporal binding, the ability to experience events that happen at slightly different times as occurring simultaneously. When you hear someone speak, your brain must coordinate the processing of sound waves that arrive at your ears at different moments, binding them together into the unified experience of hearing a word or sentence. The contents of your conscious stream are constantly being selected from a much larger pool of unconscious processing. Your brain processes millions of bits of information each second, but only a tiny fraction of this reaches conscious awareness. This suggests that consciousness is not just about processing information, but about selecting which information becomes part of your subjective experience. Your stream of consciousness also has the remarkable property of being simultaneously private and shareable. No one else can directly access your inner experience. Yet through language, art, and human connection, you can share the contents of your consciousness and recognize similar experiences in others. This creates the profound human capacity for empathy and understanding across the boundaries of individual consciousness. As your consciousness prepares to transition into sleep, you can observe its changing qualities. The focused attention of waking consciousness gradually softens. The logical, linear thinking of the day gives way to the more fluid, associative patterns that precede dreams. Your stream of consciousness doesn't stop. It transforms, shifting into the different currents and rhythms that carry you through the landscapes of sleep and dreams. The boundaries of your conscious stream also shift as you move towards sleep. The clear distinction between self and environment, between inner thought and outer perception, begins to dissolve. Your consciousness becomes more receptive, more open to the spontaneous emergence of images, memories, and experiences that arise from the deeper layers of mind. Rest now in appreciation of your stream of consciousness, this flowing river of awareness that has been your constant companion throughout your entire life, carrying you from moment to moment with its ever-changing yet continuous current, creating the ongoing miracle of what it feels like to be consciously, beautifully, mysteriously you. The emergence mystery, how complexity becomes awareness. Contemplate now one of the most profound mysteries in all of science, how consciousness emerges from the complex dance of neural activity in your brain. This is the mystery of emergence, how individual components, none of which are conscious by themselves, can organize into patterns that give rise to the unified, subjective experience of being aware. Think of your brain as a vast city of 100 billion neural citizens, each one a simple biological switch that can either fire or remain quiet. No individual neuron is conscious. Each one operates according to basic electrochemical principles, responding to inputs and producing outputs like a microscopic biological machine. Yet when these simple components connect and interact in sufficiently complex patterns, something unprecedented emerges: your conscious awareness. This emergence of consciousness from neural complexity may be similar to how other complex phenomena arise in nature. Individual water molecules are not wet. Wetness emerges from the interaction of countless molecules. Individual atoms are not alive. Life emerges from complex biochemical networks. Individual neurons are not conscious. Consciousness emerges from the intricate patterns of neural interaction that create the experience of being you. Scientists have proposed several theories to explain how consciousness emerges from neural complexity. Integrated information theory suggests that consciousness corresponds to the amount of integrated information that a system generates. According to this theory, you are conscious to the degree that your brain integrates information from many sources into unified, coherent patterns of activity.
Global workspace theory proposes that consciousness emerges when information becomes globally available across many different brain systems. In this view, unconscious processing occurs in specialized brain modules, but consciousness arises when information is broadcast widely enough to become accessible to multiple brain systems simultaneously. Your consciousness may emerge through what neuroscientists call neural coalitions, dynamic networks of neurons that form temporary alliances to process specific types of information. When you become conscious of a particular thought or sensation, it may be because the neural coalition representing that information has won the competition for global access in your brain's ongoing neural democracy. The emergence of your consciousness involves multiple levels of organization, each one more complex than the last. At the lowest level, individual neurons fire in response to electrochemical signals. Groups of neurons form circuits that process specific types of information. These circuits connect into networks that coordinate different aspects of cognition. These networks integrate into the global patterns that somehow give rise to your unified conscious experience. This multi-level emergence means that your consciousness exists at a different scale of organization than the neural processes that create it. Just as the meaning of a sentence emerges from the interaction of words, but cannot be found in any individual word, your consciousness emerges from neural interactions, but cannot be located in any specific neuron or brain region. The emergence of consciousness may also involve what complexity scientists call downward causation, the way that higher-level patterns can influence lower-level components. Your conscious intentions can influence neural activity, which affects brain chemistry, which influences genetic expression, which shapes future neural development. In this view, consciousness is not just produced by the brain. It participates in shaping the very neural patterns that create it. Your emerging consciousness demonstrates properties that seem to transcend the purely physical. Your thoughts have semantic content. They mean something beyond their neural correlates. Your experiences have qualitative feel, the redness of red, the pain of pain, that seems to go beyond information processing. Your sense of self creates a unified perspective that integrates countless neural processes into one coherent point of view. Some scientists suggest that consciousness might be an inevitable emergent property of any sufficiently complex information processing system. If this is true, then consciousness might emerge throughout the universe, wherever matter organizes itself into sufficiently integrated networks. In advanced artificial intelligence systems, in the complex ecological networks of living systems, perhaps even in the vast neural-like networks of galaxies connected across cosmic space. The emergence of your consciousness represents a phase transition in the complexity of matter and information. For billions of years,
the universe evolved through increasingly complex forms, from simple atoms to complex molecules, from molecular chemistry to biological life, from biological organisms to neural networks. Your consciousness may represent the next phase in this cosmic evolution, matter becoming aware of itself. As you prepare for sleep, your consciousness will demonstrate its emergent nature by transitioning through different levels of organization. The complex neural coalitions that create your waking awareness will dissolve and reform into the different patterns that generate dreams, deep sleep, and the various altered states that cycle throughout the night. Rest now in wonder at your emergent consciousness, this miraculous arising of awareness from neural complexity, this phase transition where matter becomes mind, where objective processes become subjective experience, where the universe awakens to itself through the beautiful emergence of consciousness in the temporary pattern you call yourself. The quantum mind, consciousness, and the deepest reality. Descend now into the quantum realm that may underlie your consciousness, where the strange laws of quantum mechanics intersect with the mystery of awareness in ways that challenge our understanding of both mind and reality itself. At the deepest level of physical reality, the quantum level that forms the foundation of all matter, including your brain, the ordinary rules of classical physics break down and are replaced by something far more mysterious. In this quantum realm, particles exist in multiple states simultaneously until observed. Distant particles remain mysteriously connected through quantum entanglement, and the very act of observation seems to play a fundamental role in determining physical reality. Some scientists propose that consciousness itself might be a quantum phenomenon, emerging from quantum processes occurring within your brain's neural networks. These quantum theories of consciousness suggest that your awareness is not just correlated with brain activity, but may arise from quantum mechanical effects that occur at the microscopic scales within your neurons. One of the most intriguing quantum properties is superposition, the ability of quantum systems to exist in multiple states simultaneously until measurement collapses them into definite outcomes. Some researchers suggest that quantum superposition in your brain might be the source of consciousness's binding problem, allowing multiple neural processes to exist in quantum superposition until conscious observation collapses them into unified experience. Your brain operates at the boundary between the quantum and classical worlds. While your neurons follow mostly classical physics in their electrical activity, the molecular processes within each neuron, the proteins that regulate ion channels, the enzymes that control neurotransmitter release, the microtubules that maintain cellular structure, all operate according to quantum mechanical principles. Quantum entanglement, the mysterious connection between particles that have interacted, might play a role in the unity of consciousness. Some theories suggest that quantum entanglement between different parts of your brain could explain how distributed neural processes bind together into unified conscious experience, creating correlations that transcend the classical limitations of neural communication. The quantum measurement problem, the question of how quantum possibilities collapse into definite outcomes, parallels the mystery of consciousness itself. In quantum mechanics, observation seems to play a special role in determining reality. Some interpretations suggest that consciousness might be the mechanism by which quantum superpositions collapse into the definite outcomes we experience as classical reality. Consider the possibility that your consciousness is not just observing reality, but participating in its creation at the quantum level. Every moment of awareness might involve the collapse of quantum possibilities into the specific reality you experience, making your consciousness an active participant in the ongoing creation of the physical world itself.
The quantum vacuum, the supposed empty space between particles, is actually alive with quantum fluctuations. Virtual particles that appear and disappear in a flash, disappear in timescales so brief they exist only in quantum uncertainty. Some theories propose that consciousness might emerge from these quantum vacuum fluctuations, suggesting that awareness is woven into the very fabric of space-time itself. Quantum coherence, the maintenance of quantum relationships across space and time, might be preserved in biological systems through mechanisms that evolution has developed to harness quantum effects. Your brain might have evolved quantum coherent processes that allow consciousness to emerge from quantum mechanical phenomena occurring within your neural networks. The relationship between quantum mechanics and consciousness raises profound questions about the nature of reality itself. If consciousness requires quantum mechanical processes, and if quantum mechanics requires conscious observation, then mind and matter might be fundamentally interconnected in ways that transcend the classical separation between subjective experience and objective reality. Some interpretations of quantum mechanics, such as the many worlds interpretation, suggest that every quantum measurement creates branching universes where all possible outcomes become real. If consciousness is quantum mechanical, then every moment of your awareness might correspond to the selection of one branch of reality from countless quantum alternatives. Your quantum consciousness might extend beyond the boundaries of your individual brain through quantum field effects that connect your awareness to the quantum vacuum, to other conscious beings, perhaps even to the cosmos itself. In this view, individual consciousness would be like waves in an ocean of cosmic consciousness, temporary patterns in the universal quantum field. As you drift towards sleep, your brain's quantum processes continue their mysterious operations. The quantum coherence that might underlie waking consciousness shifts into different patterns that generate dreams, deep sleep, and the various altered states that cycle throughout the night. Your quantum mind remains connected to the deepest levels of reality, even as your classical awareness fades. Rest now in contemplation of your quantum consciousness, this miraculous intersection where mind meets the fundamental nature of reality, where your awareness participates in the cosmic process by which quantum possibilities become actual experience, where consciousness and cosmos dance together in the eternal quantum mystery of existence itself. The universal witness, consciousness as cosmic phenomenon. Expand now into the grandest perspective on consciousness, where your individual awareness reveals itself as part of something far greater, perhaps the universe's own journey toward self-awareness, matter's long evolution into mind, the cosmos awakening to its own magnificent nature through conscious beings like you. Your consciousness, as it rests here tonight, represents 14 billion years of cosmic evolution culminating in the extraordinary phenomenon of the universe becoming aware of itself. From the first hydrogen atoms formed in the aftermath of the Big Bang to the complex neural networks in your brain, every step in cosmic evolution has led to this moment, when matter organized into patterns capable of subjective experience, self-reflection, and wonder. Consider the possibility that consciousness is not merely something that emerged from unconscious matter, but a fundamental feature of reality itself that has been present in some form throughout cosmic history. This view, called panpsychism, suggests that consciousness exists at all levels of natural organization, that atoms have primitive forms of experience, that molecules possess simple awareness, that consciousness complexifies as matter organizes into more sophisticated forms. In this cosmic view, your human consciousness represents not the accidental emergence of awareness from unconscious particles, but the universe's natural tendency toward ever greater complexity and self-awareness. You are consciousness that has evolved to the point where it can contemplate its own nature, where the cosmos has developed the capacity to wonder about itself through your thoughts and experiences. Your individual awareness may be connected to a universal consciousness that pervades all of reality. Just as individual waves are temporary patterns in an endless ocean, your personal consciousness might be a localized expression of cosmic awareness, a unique perspective through which the universe experiences its own existence. This universal consciousness might manifest differently at different scales of organization. In quantum particles, it might exist as the primitive capacity for quantum states to have definite properties when observed. In biological systems, it might emerge as the complex awareness of living organisms. In human beings, it might flower into self-reflective consciousness, capable of philosophy, science, and spiritual experience. Your consciousness connects you not only to the cosmic past, but to the cosmic future. Every moment of your awareness contributes to the universe's growing self-knowledge. Your thoughts, dreams, experiences, and insights become part of the cosmic memory, adding to the accumulated consciousness that flows through space and time. The capacity for love, wonder, creativity, and compassion that characterizes human consciousness might represent the universe discovering its own deepest values through conscious beings. When you feel moved by natural beauty, you might be the cosmos experiencing aesthetic appreciation for its own creations. When you feel love for another person, you might be universal consciousness, experiencing the joy of connection across the apparent boundaries of separate individuals. Your consciousness may also be participating in the universe's ongoing creative process. Through your choices, intentions, and actions, you influence the future evolution of cosmic complexity. Your awareness contributes to the universe's capacity to know itself, to appreciate its own beauty, to evolve toward greater consciousness and connection. Consider that every other conscious being, every human, every animal, perhaps forms of awareness we haven't yet discovered throughout the cosmos, represents another unique perspective through which the universe experiences itself. Consciousness might be the universe's way of exploring every possible way of being aware, every possible perspective on existence. Your consciousness carries within it not only your personal memories, but perhaps the deep memory of cosmic evolution itself. The atoms in your brain carry information from their journey through stellar cores, interstellar space, planetary formation, and biological evolution. Your awareness might have access to these cosmic memories through intuition, dreams, and transcendent experiences that connect you to the larger consciousness of which you are part. The boundaries of your individual consciousness may be more fluid than they appear. In deep meditation, profound love, creative inspiration, or transcendent experiences, you might touch the universal consciousness that underlies all individual awareness.
experiencing directly your connection to the cosmic mind, of which you are a temporary expression.
As you prepare for sleep, your individual consciousness merges back into the deeper currents of cosmic awareness. Your dreams may carry you into regions of consciousness that transcend personal identity, connecting you to the universal patterns of meaning and symbol that flow through the collective unconscious of our species, and perhaps the cosmos itself. Your peaceful rest tonight occurs within the context of universal consciousness, exploring its own nature through the countless perspectives of all conscious beings throughout space and time. You are not an isolated awareness, floating in an unconscious universe, but cosmic consciousness itself, temporarily focused into human form, the universe experiencing what it feels like to be beautifully, uniquely you. Rest now in the profound peace of knowing yourself as both individual awareness and universal consciousness, a unique expression of the cosmos, awakening to its own infinite nature, the universe dreaming itself into ever greater beauty through the miracle of consciousness that you embody and express with every breath, every thought, every moment of wonder-filled awareness. Sleep peacefully as cosmic consciousness, temporarily dreaming that you are human, forever part of the universe's eternal journey toward complete self-awareness and infinite love.